Hello everybody and welcome to an update to the EARTHSHATTER Juggernaut League Start that I put out. So I am actually playing it right now. We are currently sitting at level 88. This is basically the end of day one. We're like 2 hours over. So basically it's like 24 hours into the league. Level 88, I am pretty comfortably into red maps right now. I'll probably finish them up tomorrow. We have died, I think, 28 times, 27 times, one less. A lot of that was in the campaign. Like, you know, it's softcore mindset. Who cares? So before I actually explain the build and how it's pretty different from the path of building that I put out, and I want to apologize, by the way, for that League Start video, the EARTHSHATTER one specifically. I should have taken more time to make that video. It's just pretty bad, honestly. Pretty bad video. The build itself, though, it works, and it works very well. So let's just run a map here. We're running a 122 quant red map, vulnerability, LE weakness, extra damage, 2 boss, like all this crap. Let's just play, see what happens. And while I explain some stuff to you, I'll show you how the build performs, and then I'll talk about it at the end of this video. So the main thing is we are not speccing into maces, number one, and number two, elemental damage. We are not converting into fire damage. And my idea, if you are following the build, if you're playing it and you're watching this update video because you want to see what I'm doing differently, the idea in that original video was that, oh, the new weapon enchant that gives you extra fizz as each element, that's really powerful, and you probably want to scale it with elemental damage, right? So I was like, okay, we can just therefore go pure elemental, right? I never was intending to play this build as elemental until I got that enchant, and I just literally didn't mention that in the video. So I am so sorry for that. It was never my intention to go pure fire convert. There's no reason to do that until you get the weapon enchant that says gain every single element as extra, gain your physical damage as extra element, you know? It's just not worth it. So we're not doing that. Instead, what we're doing is we're going axes, and that's why you go maces. I thought that enchant was going to be exclusive to maces. Turns out, I believe, I haven't seen the enchant yet, but I'm pretty sure, given all the other enchants that I can see, it's going to be able to apply to axes as well. And axes are just straight up better than maces. Now, the only reason we might run a mace eventually, and I will take this build to the pretty end of the end game, if not like the very end, killing the pinnacles and the uber pinnacles, maybe, we'll see. The only reason why you would want to run a mace is the impact force propagator mace, which says you get 2 extra exerts, and that really is only useful for intimidating cry. Intimidating cry gives you double damage, which is very nice, obviously. So that's the only one you would need the extra exerts on, because right now, and speaking of another change, we're running 4 war cries that have auto exertion, but you get 6 exerts minimum. What was that? What was that? Gain 114 extra fizz as cold. That's quite a bit. And 39% as chaos. I'm not even capped chaos. I'm 26 chaos res. We're gonna chalk that. Hey, we're chalking that up to chaos res. I don't want to hear it. We're chalking that up to 26 chaos res. Laugh all you want. Oh, dude died in his update video. Anyway, all of those deaths, by the way, the slash deaths at the beginning, 27, pretty much all of those were before I got into yellow and red maps. So just like, you know, softcore mindset deaths. I really have not been dying. I started mapping with 2.5k HP, which is kind of hilarious, honestly. And I just wasn't dying. It's crazy, man. Juggernaut master race. Anyway. So other than that, we're not really making too many differences. You can see my passive tree real quick while that thing spawns. So we are still pretty much following that passive tree from my original path of building. So don't get too frustrated because it's like, oh, this dude's doing something completely different than what he said his league start. Not really. I basically just didn't convert into fire. That's the main difference. Didn't convert into fire, and I kept using axes, and I didn't swap to mace. Those are the big things. If you know how to play the game, if you know how to follow league starters, there you go. That's all the info you need. Bada bing, bada boom. But again, I'll talk more about the character here in a second. Also for gymlings, I was using close combat this entire time. I literally just swapped to pulverize instead of close combat. And I think pulverize feels slightly better. I might go back to close combat though, we'll see. Other than that, I'm using melee physical damage and overexertion support. And again, I'm automating 4 war cries. So I'm not reserving pride. I'm not using pride aura, which is a lot of damage on the table. But being able to exert a whole nother war cry gives me a lot more damage, like a lot more damage. I believe overexertion at level 20 is 18% more damage per war cry that you're exerting with. Like, it is a crazy support gem. On top of that, it also gives you just 10% more damage if you're exerting at least 1 war cry. So you get 10% more and then a separate 18% more per war cry. So, dude, it's such a busted support gem. So we're running just Purity of Herald of Purity. Sorry, Herald of Purity is what I'm looking for. The physical damage one. I'm running that. I'm running Blood and Sand for 15% more damage, and then we're running Herald of Purity for an extra. I think it's like 14% or something. What's Herald of Purity? It is 12%. That's pretty bad, actually. I might even drop that. It's a lot of mana for just 12% more damage. I'll consider that. All right, let's find the boss real quick. I'll be done with this map, and then we will go into the hideout. I'll explain the rest of the build. I might even... Oh! All right, again, we're chalking that death up to 23 Chaos Res when they have extra damage as Chaos Res. That is 100% why I'm dying. Oopsies, and vulnerability, honestly. I didn't realize I had vulnerability on. I only have 15k armor. That's not the most. Basically 16k. Oh, it's only 10. Look at that. It's even worse. Yeah, vulnerability, extra fizz is chaos. That's really bad. Watch this, though. Watch this. Watch this. Yeah. Hey, I want to see your day one league start build not dying to that in 1 millisecond, okay? At least I can kind of tank that boss. I will go back and kill that boss, by the way. I don't care about my XP bar. I care about killing that boss. I want to send a message. I'm sending a message. Okay, okay. Big mistake, big mistake, big mistake, big mistake, big mistake, big mistake, big mistake. I'm sending a message. I'm sending a message. Message being sent. Put the Earthshatter spikes down, run in a circle. This is how you split the boss, by the way. Just freaking run in a circle, let your spikes do everything. Dude, get away from me, man. Ow! You almost hit me. Oh! Get away from me! Get the heck away from me! Let's go, baby. Only 3 deaths. GG. Minus 30% XP. I got a Viridian Jewel. My 3rd freaking Duresso Salute. GG. That was totally worth it. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the build. So now you saw the build in action. Again, remember, this is day 1, literal end of day 1. Let's look at the passive tree. So it's very similar to the path of building, if I pull that up real quick. So the path of building looks like this. Basically, all I've done is ignore this section right here. So Avatar Fire, the fire damage nodes, the extra res. I have taken these Warcry now. So everything is right here in the middle. I've ignored that. And then I have cluster jewels, actually. I have, and everyone was saying, dude, you can't get cluster jewels on a league start. What the heck? You can't do that. That's illegal. Oh, yeah? Look at this. I literally have the exact cluster jewels that I need right here. Look at that. Fearsome Warrior, Martial Mastery, very good nodes. And then freaking Lead by Example, Rattling Battle. I ID'd this. I'll put the clip in if I can find it. I used a Wisdom Scroll and got these two. Like, dude, it's that easy. What can I say? All right, we might have got a little lucky on that regard. Anyway, so what we've done is essentially just ignore this section here. I'm going for my Cluster Jewel right now. You don't need the Cluster Jewel. Other than that, we spec'd into Duelist a little bit. You can see right here in the original POB, I say basically just ignore Duelist here and Anoint Vigor. Like, this is also a stupid thing, man. Like, why am I saying Anoint Vigor? That was so stupid in a League Start video. You don't need it. You absolutely don't need this Endurance Charge. And I should have just explained before you get to that point, you do want a path down here to get that extra endurance, because you also get Bastion Breaker, which is a very strong node, Wrecking Ball, very strong node. You get a little bit of life, and you get Endurance Charge. So it's absolutely worth the spec down here in the Duelist. And then up here, I just spec'd in Templar, obviously not grabbing the elemental damage nodes because I'm not doing elemental damage scaling, to grab the Endurance Charge, Jewel Socket, a little bit of extra life. Other than that, the POB is very similar. Again, we did not grab the Mace nodes, we grabbed Axe nodes instead, which gives us a lot of Rage generation. Dude, the Rage feels so good. So good. Also, I added in this Rage cluster here. I believe that's not on the passive tree here. No, it's not. So definitely add in this Rage cluster, get both of them. I take the bottom one here for +6 max Rage for that, +1 on hit, +1 on hit. So you get 5 melee, 3 Rage on hit, 6 max Rage. And then up here gives you 10 max Rage, an additional 2 on hit. And then Axe gives you 1 + 2 as well. So you get a total of 53 maximum Rage, which is 53% more attack damage. And you get basically 16 Rage per second. So your Rage will shoot up to maximum when you're fighting something. It takes no time at all. It feels so nice. Other than that, it's pretty much the exact build in the POB, right? Just don't go Elemental, stay with Axes. That simple. Don't go elemental, stay with axes, and run overexertion support. This thing is so busted, so beautiful of a support gem. And I'm running Pulverize personally. You can run like Close Combat or maybe even Brutality if you want, but I would just go Pulverize honestly for the extra AoE, maybe Close Combat. I have a pretty good axe here. I'll just show you all my gear briefly here. So the helmet is just nothing special, just life, a little bit of resistances. This axe is crazy. Thank you very much. Hey, you know who you are. Thank you very much for hooking me up with this one. We got life resistances on gloves, life resistances on belt, life movement speed, a little bit of res on there. I need to upgrade my armor. This thing is garbage for what it is. I can get a massive upgrade there. Ring, I finally got Elrond jewelry today. Just farmed it myself. So this ring's pretty bad. No life, but just, you know, some res on there. Elrond enchant, life, res, Elrond enchant. And then life, res, and stats on the amulet. And that's our current setup right now. So hope you guys enjoyed the update. The quick synopsis, once again, is do not convert to elemental. Just don't even bother until you get the weapon enchant, which is going to be way later on. Don't go maces, stick with axes. And other than that, you can pretty much follow the path of building. It is very accurate. So there'll be a link in the description below of this exact character. You can see exactly what my character is doing right now, so you can compare and contrast if you get a little stuck. Other than that, thank you for watching, boys, and expect another update video once we get, a couple more days into the league. Peace out. Thank you for watching.